वन्नकम एनकलनान परकal तो आज हमारे साथ meditation के बारे में बात करेंगे. So I tried to record video earlier about tension because for a long period in my life there was kind of above average level tension. It started from university and now till work I have this tension. So now I'm going to tell how I manage it and what are best ways to manage it. I discovered it for my whole life. So how my daily life, how my day starts, like I wake up in 4 to 5 a.m. It's like a habit for me. I go wash myself, do breakfast, and of course I have to go to work. It starts in 9 a.m. I come in 8 a.m. and when you do some routines work, it makes you exhausted the most, even if it is interesting, even if you realize that that is important for your career. Still, if it is monotonous, you stop seeing the intention, something intensive, and the growth as we always imagine it. It's like something intensive, continuously growing, like development. Even if we envisage it in our mind, like what is development, it's something that goes up. And when you don't see anything, so tension comes, like you waste your time, then you return from work, you have no energy. So what I do, I wake up, the first thing I do, I eat what I like and something what will not make me exhausted, like no fast carbs. I drink chai, they go to work. Of course, I listen to music, and there is like different kinds of music. Like first is music that's very interesting. You can make some in mind scenarios, and it boosts your energy, but it also exhausts you because your mind wants to relax. So I use it to listen a lot of like rock style music or something very intensive like disco style, but it makes your mind exhausted after listening because in morning brain wants something calm. So I started listen less music or listen something like Mediterranean exit, something slow, something like ambient, and that affected energy. Of course, energy wasn't so devastated. Also, the second thing I do when I come to work, I eat something sweet or drink like something like sugar-free Coke, and yes, it also boosts energy. It's like a little treat before something boring. Yes, then I go to my work and what to say, it's good to divide your work. Like you have to do a proper amount of tasks, some amount of tasks. So it's, I guess, different for everyone. Some people prefer to do something hard and boring the first thing and then relax. Some people, like I see my colleagues, they do some piece of work, then they go to walk, to talk with each other. I can do like this. I do first all my hard tasks. I do when it's enough. I chill out completely. But working 9 hours, it's even good because like you have 4 hours in morning before 1 or 2 p.m. like or 12 p.m. you work I do usually something that requires a lot of mental energy. Then I go for lunch, I relax, I also eat something sweet or something like full of protein or vegetables. Then I drink some energy drink because I like it. I do my courses, like I just enjoy learning new stuff about IT, and I read some courses But I noticed that if you, like, suppose you did your work, first kind of work, and you are mentally exhausted, you are overloaded with information and with that cognitive workload, and then you start do something other work. It's kind of similar by intensity level, but it is interesting. And the difference between this workload and this mental workload is that it is more exciting and it is not so exciting, but it takes similar amount of energy and mental efforts when you need to try hard, think hard. So yes, kind of similar. So what I do, I try to simplify it. If in my usual work I can't, I'm not advised to simplify it. I have to make complex decisions and elaborate some decisions. And what it is the thing I am paid for. But when it is about my education, some courses for self development, it's better to simplify and to make it understandable for yourself, not for someone else. And there should be no perfectionism, as I guess. So I do some courses. It makes my energy boost because I feel like I didn't waste my day so much. My day, this part of my day didn't go in vain. There is something useful for myself I did, and also as it boosts my motivation, I can also persuade myself. I don't like to say it, but yes, it partly true. It has its sense. I persuade myself into believing that the work I do is actually important for me, even if it's boring, um, even if it's overall. If you take the long span, if it is important, like preparing for exam, it's of course important. If you do it for months, for years, it is important. But if you take consideration into a small span, like 2 weeks, sitting and writing some papers, it's useless. It is a waste of your life, of your youth. So yes, it is easier to um, look on the situation from the different side. Then I do my second part of work after lunch. Yes, um, I do something less hard because I'm already aimed for relax, because soon will be relaxed, soon I will go home. Yes, so that is what I do. Also I allow myself like I always ask myself whenever I do something, whenever I'm confused or whenever I'm not sure or when I feel uncomfortable about something, or when there is some ambiguity between my inner sense and some overall idea, commonly accepted idea, I always ask myself what I do, what is the thing I do, what it actually is, why I do this, what is the reason I do this, and for what I do this. Why I do this, it is like different from for what I do, because why it is something like triggers, something like emotions triggers what makes you rush towards an action. And for what I do this, it is an actual sensible reason why you do this. Like why I scroll Pinterest now, because I feel exhausted, I want to relax, I want to unwind. And for what reason I do this, it's different, not because I'm so exhausted and feel bad about my day, but because I need to make myself relaxed. Yes, and sometimes when you ask those three questions, there can be some resonance. Like you can say why you do something, but for what you do it, like the eventual end and purpose. you will not see. So that is the matter. It is why it's important to ask this question. Also, what can I say? When I ask this, and when I understand that this part of my work, my actual work for what I am paid, it doesn't require sometimes it happens, not every piece of your work requires some strong efforts, some complex decisions and elaborative actions when you just need to put ticks or just copy paste some text. I allow myself to turn on some music on earphones, and that's all. Yes, and over time start to read lighter to the idea of brain rotting, to say. Overall brain rot makes me exhausted because I feel like I don't do anything useful, but more exhaustive than brain rotting, doing something like putting your attempts and energy into something and unconsciously knowing that it will not bring you some fruits. For example, you are in metro, like underground subway, and for whole hour you have to travel to your work location. Like from your home to your work location, it takes an hour to travel by subway, and you suppose that it will be a nice idea to read some book like in your phone or pass some online course, watch some useful video, and you start doing this, but subway is overcrowded and it is a summer, very hot, not enough air to breathe, and you like very hard to breathe it, and you adding to that you try to understand some complex ideas, you try to digest it by your mind and like in your mind implement it to some situations like very hard. You're exhausted physically but also mentally, and subconsciously you know that it is a stimulation of productivity, but you don't, when you will go out of this subway you will make sight and forget whatever you was reading about. So yes, and in this situation it's better to watch some like cooking videos or nature videos, rabbits videos, to chill, to feel easier and to breathe easier. Maybe it will help you. So you really don't want to make extra exhaustion on your mind onto your mind. So yes, that is the thing why brain rot is good sometimes. What can I say else? What makes me actually, yes, when I come from work, I always have plans like I'm going to do my portfolio, upload it in GitHub. But when I come home, everything goes against me sometimes. Like I try to make pipelines, but I stop having access in AWS account, they block at me, or I just can't afford some servers in some alternative website. So yes, I have to think about some alternatives like bring up second laptop, make 2 virtual machines on first laptop, 3 virtual machines on second laptop, and it exhausts me. I just want to eat. Yes, when I come home I eat if I'm hungry, if not so I drink something. This overloads me, and sometimes it's a good idea to just go and sleep or just do something low effort if it is a course, or suppose you want to decorate your end of day with something productive. It's not always, it shouldn't be always something very ambitious like making a complete pipeline in 3 hours after your job when you return at home in 7 p.m. It is even enough to read some chapter or watch some interesting video about the subject you enjoy. It will boost you and even make you some more motivation to proceed on the next day, because the thing you really don't want to do is extra mental tension that will cover your physical tension, to say. Yes, and how to unwind. Yes, I do sometimes brain rot. I watch rabbits, nature, cooking videos, and after some time when I do this, after 30 or 40 minutes, it naturally comes to me like desire to do something productive, and I read something. Yes, also another idea about how to decrease your tension. It's kind of life hack I elaborated. You lose your energy when you decide on doing something, but by some reasons you have no capacity to do it. It is like inner humiliation on yourself. Like suppose in your lunchtime you want to come to some bakery and buy some bread, and whole morning you think about like I will go to this bakery and I will buy some blueberry croissant. But when you will go at lunch at this bakery, there will be no blueberry croissants, no croissant overall, and overall this bakery will be closed. So your mood will go down, and such these little things, they will affect you. Like even you suppose that in metro will be not so much people, and you will have ability to sit down and not stand for an hour, but you will sit down, no one will step on your legs, no one will put their hairs on your face, but then you have to stay. It hits you. So the overall idea is not expect something, not making yourself sure that something will happen, and it works in reverse way. Like if you decide on doing something and it actually happens, so your mental energy boosts and you feel better. Your energy overall boosts, tension falls. Tension happens when you can't manage all the mental cluster and even physical cluster that happens to you when you have no way over this cluster, and it just clusters you more. So yes, when you decide like I will give a try to make different pipelines on Sunday, no matter how much time it takes, no matter how much errors it will make, how much errors will arise, and no matter will I complete those two projects or I will leave them on half made, but I will at least try to do this and understand the whole architecture of those types of pipelines. So when you do actually this, so your mental energy boosts, tension goes down, you start believe that you are capable of doing something more, and that's all. Yes. So that's another way how I fix my tension. There is another life hack what is taken by me from manifesting. Like suppose there is two actions, one is easy, another is hard. If you do, I better say an example. I say to myself, I'm going to drink this sugar-free Coke and I will be very beautiful and skinny. Maybe it is ridiculous, but it works. When you say something real, the first part is real, something like very obvious that you can do. And second part, what you want happen to you, what you want to believe in, and you start to do the first part like this. So your mind is tricked to believe that second will happen because first is happened, so second part will also happen. So sometimes I say to myself, now I'm going to present my work, what I made, to my boss, and of course he will like it. So I will be the best worker in the office. The second. So I show my work to my boss. Boss says like it is good, it is fine. So my brain subconsciously believes in the second that I am the best worker in the office. So of course my energy boosts, I start believing myself, my confidence boosts, and magically it works. So you better also try this. It works absolutely with everything. Overall, manifesting works because you just make yourself believe that something is true, and your mind just can't see any other picture. Yes, another thing what is actually about work or even study, I guess it's similar to many people. Like the most of tension happens because you don't know how to manage your actions. What you do, you don't know how to do it properly, and you start to look for some side ways, but it's all broken because you don't know the straight way, or you have no access to the straight way. But the best way to solve it is just to do the fucking straight way. And if you want to, I don't know what to say, if you want to get a job, you are jobless, the straight way is to get the relatable knowledge and apply for the job, but you apply for some other ways, you look them in other ways job, so it's not work, you just don't have enough willpower to study actual coding, for example. Or if you want to lose weight, you just have to stop eating, but you have no willpower to stop eating. You look for some strange sports types, strange food types, and so on. But the straight way is always easy. And what's about me, I always confused and scared to ask for help. Overall, I'm scared to ask for help in my work, so that's why most of my problems happen. I don't know how to create a pipeline. My pipeline always breaks. And what is the most reasonable solution to this situation is to ask some colleagues or boss to help, but I don't want to look stupid or the worst, like the most stupid. So I try to manage it myself, so I waste a lot of time on it, and I haven't enough time for other types of work. And of course it creates some inner tension, at least because I have not enough time for other tasks. But what is the simplest way is to ask some colleague who sits near me to help me solve this task. If I will do it more, so yes, I will have less tension, and I try to do this also. The same is in university, I guess. If you ask someone like help me in exam, I guess they will not laugh at you. They will help you the way they can, and it will simplify your life. So yes, the best way is the shortest way, but we rarely refer to it and pay attention to it. So that's what makes tension overall. Also overthinking. I also overthink, but I used to overthink, but now I just learned to pull away those thoughts because they are unreal. And we can say, if you doubt about manifestation or what I said about believing in good and building your confidence with bare hands, or that cringe way I said, that is the same way fantasy what overthinking is. And you can say like they will hate me, they will laugh at me, and you can say like they will praise me, they will look up to me. It is the same, it both can be real. Yes, so that's kind of all. So in conclusion, I will say the best way to manage your tension is to mix the things you don't like routine job, with something little but pleasant, like some cookies or uh, fizzy drink or some music. Also is to make yourself thinking and believing into good, like I told you, those kind of manifestation tricks. Ask for help and don't uh, like go in the straight way, always choosing opting for the straight way. Also feeling what is good for your body or not. Like if you feel like wearing this t-shirt will spoil your day, so better not to wear this. Yes, so it is like main ideas what to do. Yes, that's all.